What's up? This is Cedric McMillan. Listen, get your ass down to the MD Supplement Superstore. Peace.
And one of the biggest pitfalls I think we fall into, whether you be young or older trainers, is we always have heard this probably from the minute we began to sport, is practice makes perfect, right? I think we can all agree. We've always said practice makes perfect, practice makes perfect. Why disagree? I don't believe in it at all. And they're like, what are you talking about? Well, what if you practice bad habits? There's plenty of guys and girls in here and at the show maybe that practice a ton of bad habits in life, whether it be bodybuilding, or school, or whatever. And now they're hitting their head against the wall saying, why am I not getting to this successful finish line? Why am I finishing last? But because they haven't reevaluated their actual game plan. And that's why I actually hired a coach, to make sure that just because I'm going in there with the great intensity to go bench or squat or whatever, like I could be squatting, I remember this perfectly. I was squatting and I'm like killing it, and it's like, Phil, it's kind of weird, but your right leg is bigger than your left. And I'm like, what? Well, how is that? Well, maybe it just happens because, nothing's really symmetrical. And he goes, actually, dumbass, it's because your right foot is in front of your left. Oh, that's why. So, it's those little things, right? And I'm thinking, well, I'm training hard. I'm doing everything he's telling me to do. I'm doing everything these magazines that they're telling me to do. But it was those little, minute details that would yield a greater result. And that's something that we always talk about crossing T's and dotting all the I's. And really paying attention to the ultimate detail is what's going to not just make you good, but make you better than the average. The average person probably spends way too much time on the details than just the big pictures, right? But I'll let Hany kind of get into some of that.
Well, can you guys hear me okay, or is this a little bit lower?
This is a little lower, but you can use mine.
Sure. Grab it.
This is what I got to deal with daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. Anyways, I think most people here know probably who I am. I write for MuscleTech magazine. Yeah, basically I wanted to find out if there's anybody that has questions, training questions, nutrition questions.
We all love Phil, and we know that he is a young and great ambassador for our sport. How much bigger and beautiful is he planning to get?
That's good words right there.
So I need that big mic.
Bigger and beautiful. Here comes Magic Mike. I want to see the beauty.
I don't understand. We should never say that. Wasn't that true?
In 3D.
I don't know that type of bodybuilder. I tried to say that earlier. There's other dudes that do that.
Music.
I think a lot of people have asked that question, like, since I turned pro, really, like, is he maxed out and this and that? I usually do that every year, and honestly, like, I don't think I've ever said, okay, this year I just want to stay at this same weight. For me, it's just, I'm so focused on trying to eliminate weak areas that everything just naturally just gets bigger every year. I think a lot of people fail to realize that I started training only a little over 10 years ago. So there's probably people in here that have actually lifted weights longer than me. So I think that, I think the question is like, how big can I get before I feel like it's too much or it's going to ruin lines and this and that. To be honest, I don't really, with my structure, I will say this, I will probably not be at, I don't even know what weight it would be, but once we get there, we'll probably taper it down. We will get as big as we can before, blocky waist or, disproportion, and unable to get in condition and things of that nature. I mean, I wanted to weigh, over 250. This past year I ended up weighing 241 on the stage. But I also weighed that the previous year, but looked bigger bigger in 2012 as opposed to 2011. So it's just one of those things. I remember when I turned pro, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be 235 by the time I'm like 35 years old. And I'm like every lifter in here, like, oh yeah, I got these weight goals, every time I had a weight goal, I surpassed it. So I surpassed the 235 mark in 08. So my thing is, how can I get better? And that's why I had Hany to kind of go over that with me. I'm sure he has an idea weight-wise, but it's more like, how far can we take it now? How far can we drive this car before the engine blows out? Yes, because it is well equipped to drive super fast. How big can his delts get? How round can his legs get? And really every year, we've been able to come out with a really good package, but the biggest thing is to make sure that everything is even. So one year my quads may grow, and now the next year we have to focus more on hamstring development. We were training last night, and it was like, hey, we have to go back to some other shoulder training because now one side's bigger than the other. I start to see different things. He's giving me a second look. So to really answer your question, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, but I can tell you this. I promise everyone in here, including myself and the trainers, that what I won't do is ruin what got me there. What I won't do is ruin what got me there. If anything, I would consider myself more of kind of a hybrid of the aesthetic guys, more of the aesthetic classic physique.
When he says hybrid, it's really a matter of kind of shape and size, where there's a lot of, there's shape guys, there's size guys, and there's very few that have both, and even fewer that have that three-dimensionality that Phil's been able to create through the training, the nutrition process that we created. So a lot of that three-dimensionality, we call it, I tend to coin it, the Photoshop look has a lot to do with the fact that how we train and how the nutrition revolves around the training, where a lot of people think that there's a secret, plan that nobody knows about. We don't discuss it, but most people want to think that there's a lot more to it. It's just a matter of applying those methods. So to answer your question, we're probably looking anywhere from 3 to 6 more pounds in the next couple of years, but it's just a refined look that goes along with that. So, I mean, a couple of pounds on him looks like 5 to 10 on somebody else.
And it was something that even Hany mentioned to me one year. He was like, yeah, you're only going to gain maybe 1 or 2 pounds to stage muscle. I'm like, I know a lot. And he goes, think of going to the store and you're buying like a pound of ground beef. It's actually pretty big. If you're put like a quarter pound here, or like a calf or something like that, that's a lot of muscle. And that's what we're trying to do. So, I mean, that's what it would potentially be. So when people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna gain 10 pounds, it's like, probably not, because I'm really serious, like, especially as a pro, it's like, it doesn't happen like that. And a lot of patience that this man has with his game plan, because you have to think, I mean, he's, to be the best trainer in the world, but even he has people say, well, why don't you do this, and why don't you do that? And it's like, sticking to the game plan at all costs, and that's what we've been able to do. And we've been able to have it successfully without getting injured, without tearing anything, thank God, and really having more room for growth. That's the biggest thing.
What's up? This is Cedric McMillan. Listen, get your ass down to the MD Supplement Superstore. Peace.